Happy Friday. And before I get distracted too much, good afternoon, Veronica.
Good afternoon Gimpy and hello everyone. Have a great stream.
Okay, and hello, Brittany Chat, Vukrul's Desperador, Hurricane, Jeff, Tiger, Aeolus, Hobo,
Your
Skybird.
next break is in 1 hour.
Who else? Did I forget somebody? Zombie. Sorry. I think that's everybody who said something in chat so far. Anyway, happy Friday. Only hear my Discord and me to stream. That's fine. It kind of works. So it was more of a. I had turned my headphones down earlier today, and when I first started talking, it didn't sound loud enough, so I had to turn it back up again. Snow. What's snow? Word literature says heavy snow. You'll sleep in tomorrow. Well, yeah. Anyway, Fridays. Anyway, stream schedule today, of course, is Baldur's Gate 3 with Jeff, Hobo, and Hurricane. We're only going to run about 4 hours today, correct, Jeff? Because Jeff's got some more MechWarrior Online stuff to do. So we're going to be cutting the Baldur's Gate portion short by 2 hours. After that, I don't know. I'll find something else to do. I won't have Hobo and Hurricane commit to anything, but find something. I'll find something to do at least, because I know it's later in the stream. So
I could do
anyway,
like 4.5 hours. I could do an extra half hour, but not more than that.
that's okay. 4 is fine. 4 is actually probably work out better in the end, to tell you the truth, because it gives more time
Okay.
to play with. So okay. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a second more. Let's do the rest of the schedule. Tomorrow, Saturday, so it's World of Warcraft Classic. Main characters for the Horde, which for me is a Tauren Druid. Sunday, first half of the stream is Dominion 6. Second half of the stream is Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous with Viewer Group 12 in the Treasure of the Midnight Isles DLC. Monday, Master of Magic. Tuesday, World of Warcraft Classic, but with alternate characters. Let me mute that. That threw me off. Hearing Mrs. Gimpy's voice in my head throws me off. So, like I said, Tuesday, World of Warcraft Classic. Wednesday, Star Sector. Thursday, Dominion 6 or Master of Magic. We'll see. Friday, we're back here to Baldur's Gate. Okay, that. Oh, and today, if Hurricane and Hobo, are you both listening? Are you here?
Yeah.
See if Hobo's here. But anyway, the question is do you, because Jeff's leaving early, about 2 hours or so, do you want to play something else? We don't have to, because I've got other stuff I can do. So I'll leave it up to you guys whether you want to do something else. But I have no idea what to do other than Deep Rock is, I think, the only game that we all three of us would have, I think, multiplayer, unless it's.
I think so.
I think that's the only one currently we all have multiplayer for sure. Because it's this multiplayer, or sorry, this Deep Rock and something. And I think that's it.
You always have Barony.
It's a small download, even for me.
Barony.
I mean, if you want to resume something you started for 2 hours, maybe Dominion 6 or Master of Magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually thinking about doing. So, or even something else. There's another game that I'm supposed to be taking a look at. So, and I can do 2 hours of that, no problem. It's ready to go, I think. I think it's ready to go. I didn't actually double check, so we'll find out the hard way. That's always a possibility. I'm waiting to hear from Hobo. I know he's downloading the update. So for those of you who didn't know, Baldur's Gate 3 got a significant size update today. Started up Steam and this morning and I was doing my normal checking of Baldur's Gate 3 to see if there's an update, and I started fire up the game, and next thing you know, update mode starts, and I'm going, oh great, how big is this one going to be? And it's 17 gigabytes, so it took a little while. Not a long time, but the download doesn't take that long. It's the processing of the update that takes the time. So that's got to keep that in mind. So, oh, it's not in TeamSpeak yet. but he's probably because he's downloading the update. I don't. He's got decent connection though, doesn't he? Isn't he on fiber?
Well, if you say the download was a smaller part and just the unpacking and applying of the patch is the longer part.
Yeah. Okay, he's here now. Okay.
I'm at 91%.
91%. Are you on fiber?
Yes.
And you only wow, 91. You get crappy fiber if you're not done yet.
Well, does it say downloading or patching or updating?
Updating.
Yeah, it's
You got
updating.
fiber all the way up to the boonies over there. Wow.
I know it's embarrassing, isn't it? I live in friggin'
I don't have fiber.
I live in friggin' civilization, one of the largest cities in the United States, and I don't have fiber. And I'm not in the boonies. That's the worst part.
No, I was referring to Hobo. I'm surprised he has fiber where he's at.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's embarrassing for me that he lives in the boonies and he has fiber, yet I don't live in the boonies and I don't have fiber. That's the embarrassing part. And we get, why don't
To
you
get
have
fiber to get fiber to Hobo's house, he probably had to ran his own fiber line. So
It's possible. I don't even have that as an option. Because they don't allow us to do that here. So, and you have fiber in your tiny mountain community. See, it's because of where I live. It's the issue.
well, with all the wildlife, I guess it can't be that hard to get a spool. You throw it on Bob the Bear and
Have them
give
run
him
it for
good
you.
food, and off he goes.
Yeah, it's not quite that easy with fiber though. It's just not a spool that you just randomly roll out. It is glass, you know.
No, it's almost that easy.
Sort
You
of.
do have to be more careful with it for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely more careful because you can't have
And
you know,
outdoor lines is a bit more reinforced compared to the stuff you run indoors.
right, and more like it's more than likely going to be buried too, because animals are going to want to chew on the kit coating and stuff in the wilderness.
Oh, they love chewing on that stuff.
That's what
That
it
is
means.
for sure.
So it's either got to be up in the air or down on the ground, and more than likely it's down on the ground. So, Skybird, does fiber have the internet go smoother, or even the internet? It does. Well, it's supposed to. It's usually much smoother. It's faster and smoother. And it has some screwy infrastructure, almost like fiefdoms on what's where. Yes. That's where it is. That's my situation. That is my situation when it comes to fiber. People, it's a waste because they don't have the wireless infrastructure to carry that speed. That is true too. Fiber is one of those things where it's funny because the companies go, oh, we'll provide fiber to your house and everything will be nice and fun and stuff. What they don't tell you is if your router inside your house can't handle those speeds, or your computer's network your network cards can't handle those speeds either, it's kind of pointless. And if you have even wireless is even another hiccup there. So a lot of people are going, oh, fiber, and then but okay, great, it's running 1,000,000 miles an hour into your house, but when it gets to your house, it's like hitting a brick wall. So, is the stream struggling? Oh, I know why. Because I was doing backup stuff in the
Yeah,
background.
in your Discord, you are cutting in and out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I know why. It's my fault.
Yeah, something's a little bit funky today because we got snowstorms.
Ah. Yeah, the backup software decided it was time to back up 500 files, so that's what happened there. Dun-dun. So, anyway, we're waiting for Hobo. And in the meantime, everyone. So, nobody's missing anything. No telling how far everybody is behind the time there, because I don't know when that backup actually started doing
With
its
the
thing.
snowstorms where you're at, you don't get too many power outages, do you?
I do randomly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you have a generator, don't you?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even if he has a generator, doesn't mean the connecting infrastructure for his connectivity might go down. So
Oh, yeah, that stuff. Keep forgetting that stuff. The important stuff.
I might have power, but
The
the
internet.
source may not.
Yeah. That's understandable. It's buffering more than a Vampire Slayer. Sure it is. Cards on today's computers are only 1 GB. Yeah, that's the standard is 1 GB connection, which is fine for your own little connection for your your personal network. 1 GB is perfectly fast enough. I mean, because that's all your network, all your streaming services and stuff. They don't require really high downloads. In all honesty, I mean, you can have higher downloads, but your ISP is going to screw you over on that one. Let's not go there though.
Always make sure your network card's drivers are up to date.
Yes, that joke will never get old. But yes, make sure your network drivers are up to date. You have a decent card. Your internet provider is giving you decent download speeds, even though even you're on fiber. But for people that aren't on fiber, like a lot of the regular cable stuff, the technology for that, for burst downloads and that kind of stuff, has really improved over the last 10 years or so. And as a result, they like to try to get you to download at really higher speeds that your network not necessarily can handle. And they don't bother to verify with you first, and they upgrade it anyway without telling you. And yeah, been through that one. They bumped us up to my ISP bumped us up to a 5 megabit download speed, right? From a 200, which is what we had, which is totally fine for us. They bumped us up to 500 without telling us, and they raised it on. But they made us pay for, or they tried to get us to make us pay for it. But because they said, "Hey, we didn't approve this, and you didn't even verify that our modem can handle this," which it couldn't, or handle it, which it couldn't, because we hadn't upgraded our modem a little while, and they were still charging us for it. We got through. It didn't get through 1 month though, because we noticed that real quick. But 500, megabits down is pretty fast for most for most of your needs. And they try to convince you that, well, if you have so many wireless devices in your house, this is what you need, which is bullshit. Because they say if you have 6 or more devices, you need 500 gigabytes or 500 megabits down. And it's like, no, you don't. Not unless you're running all your wireless devices at the same time, watching 4K movies all the time on all of your devices. You don't need that kind of speed. And it's just like, the crap that they feed you is amazing. And yeah, stuff. And Vukrils. You're trying to convince Gimpy for some years to hook up directly to the big transoceanic wires. But that's not going to help you, Vukrils, because those transoceanic wires you're talking about are in the Atlantic. I would be going into the Pacific, so it'd have to go through the Pacific, through Asia, or down through the Mediterranean, or down around India, through the Mediterranean, that kind of fun stuff. And then it would get up to you. That's a really long way to go. I don't think it would matter. Network card is only $30. Yeah, but then you have to put it in. And even then, you don't really need it. Would I need a yacht? Yes, I would. A 10 gigabit card at $100. That's overkill. Yeah, I'm still on copper too. Because when they ran cable, or not cable, fiber through this general area decades ago, they kind of conveniently left out basically the city I live in. I mean, they just totally went around it for whatever reason. They just had no intention of putting fiber through here, and it's really annoying. But that's the way it is. It's just an issue of logistics. Motherboards, almost all but the lowest, have at least 2.5 gigabyte NIC these days. I didn't even check to see what I have on this new computer. How do you see that? Is that hardware? Network adapters. The name does not say. That doesn't help me. Driver doesn't help. The PCI card. That's all I know. It's a PCI card with a lot of numbers and letters next to it. But it doesn't say anything about speed. All of the Master of Orion games are on sale. What if you have them already? Can you get the money back? Yeah, it doesn't say how fast my card is and my stuff. It tells me how what the Wi-Fi card is, but a portion of the card. Not a big deal. It's fast enough. How fast is 5G? You just got a new phone, and it's 5G. To be honest, I don't notice a difference from 4G. I don't think you're going to really notice in most cases. Because Mrs. Gimpy had the same question when she upgraded her phone to 5G from 4G. She goes, I don't notice any difference. I go, well, you're probably not going to, because you're watching the same stuff or listening to the same stuff that you were before. And the technology, in order to take advantage of the speed difference, the stuff that you're watching isn't going to do that. If the download difference is minimal. Because most of the things you're watching, like on YouTube or listening to music and stuff, the files are so small. 4G and 5G, there's no real difference in how long it takes to download, but maybe a half a second, maybe a second at most. So, so there's no real difference that you're going to notice from day to day. Only time you might notice the difference if you're doing maybe a lot of video calls with people. That's probably the only way you're going to notice anything, and even then, it's not going to matter. You probably won't even notice either. It's 3, and you would not get it, even if you would pay you.
Empyrean got a DLC.
Say what?
Empyrean, it got a DLC.
Yep, and that's actually the game I was thinking of doing after you leave. So I have to.
It has swords.
But what?
It has swords.
It does. I haven't even looked at it really. I just ran it to make sure it works the other day, yesterday I think it was, and it runs, but I didn't actually look at any of the real content in it.
Carve away the corruption in melee combat.
Oh, that might be interesting. Still be a limit on the upload bandwidth at the other, right? Yeah, that's one thing you got to consider with cell phones is it's download speeds, it's not necessarily upload. That's why you don't stream wirelessly. Typically, it's not a good idea because your upload speeds are not nearly as good as they are with cable or fiber. That's the way it works, and it's also why we're stuck with. And when I say we, I mean me and Mrs. Gimpy. We're stuck with our ISP that we have is because of the only cable ISP in the area. We have satellite providers, but streaming purposes, satellites don't work because it's basically, it's all download and the upload speed is really, really, really slow. So you can't really stream a satellite. So, because the upload is kind of the important stuff. I guess we could turn the sound back on for the dogs. So the next thing is the server you're downloading files from has to be local enough to be able to serve you fast enough. The more random infrastructure you have to go through, the more slow down. Yep. If not a good backbone, you're screwed. Well, but most of them are these days. If you're it depends on who you're downloading from. But if you're going from like Twitch or Steam or the bigger companies, their download speeds are actually pretty good. Hey, Ring, welcome back. So,
because if they weren't, people wouldn't be using them.
That is correct. That is true. 5G has a theoretical download of around 10 gigabytes per second or so. Or gigabits, sorry. 10 gigabits. Which actually isn't that fast. Oh, wait, no, that's gigabits, not megabits. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. 10 gigabits a second is actually pretty fast. If you can get it. Have I ever played Spellforce Conquest of EO? I have. I have played it. It unfortunately made the mistake of being released shortly before Age of Wonders 4 or somewhere around there. They came out at roughly the same time. I think EO came out first. And when I played it, it was like, okay. I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's definitely, it's another, descendant of Master of Magic. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's okay. It's just what I played of it was like, yeah, I've done this before. Hey, Cheryl, welcome back. And just so you guys know, we are waiting for Hobo to finish his little update. Yes.
Apparently, my download hub that I'm getting from is not very good.
Yeah, no worse. And the weird part is that Spellforce was an RTS RPG hybrid back in the day. Still is. Spellforce, I think they're up to, what, 3? Or was it 4? I think 3 came out not that long ago. They went for this sort of game now, or at least shortly before a game that was already in that genre. Right. So I was right in the timing then. So like I said, yeah, Spellforce EO came out just a little bit before Age of Wonders 4, which they were not going to win that competition because Age of Wonders is, got an established following, that kind of stuff, while EO did not. But I think EO did okay. I don't know how good it's still doing. I mean, they're putting out a DLC for it, but again, it's been out for a while. Okay, so again, waiting for on Hobo. So I'm going to go jumpstart Hobo's connection or his update process. What would I say is better, EO or Age of Wonders 4? Master of Magic. How's that for the answer? Hey, Rose, welcome back. It's, in all honesty, EO is slightly different in that of what I played of it. It's like I said, it's similar to Age of Wonders. It really is. Age of Wonders 4 and EO are fairly similar, and again, they're based on Master Magic, so they have the same spellbook concept and that kind of stuff. Tactical combat stuff. There's not a whole lot of differences there. And I can't really say one is better than the other because I just can't. It's just they're both middle of the. In all honesty, they're both middle of the road for me. I wouldn't say either one of them is exceptional. And mainly it's because it's just. And I would like Age of Wonders 4 if they had done the way armies work better, as in not so ridiculous. And yeah, I have much more respect for Age of Wonders 4, but until they fix that particular game mechanic, I can't say that it's an exceptional game. It's very middle of the road to me. And Geo. I've said Geo because the cat that's on the camera right now, her name is Geo. They actually kept that kitten. These are actually my in-laws, my mother and father-in-law's kittens, and Mrs. Gippy was babysitting them this day, obviously, as you can see. And that's the kitten they kept. Of the ones that are there, all the other ones went to home, so don't worry about that. None of them, were executed for political reasons. But that's the kitten they kept, and her name is Geo. Which, of course, we're talking about the game Spellforce EO. So there's that. Anyway, and Spellforce EO again. It's a solid game. But it's very similar to Age of Wonders 4 graphically, gameplay wise, all the fun stuff. If you played Master Magic, you've played either one of those games, basically. It's just that they're a little bit more fancier and that kind of fun stuff. They're not bad games, but like I said, they're okay. I mean, they're just okay. To mention it, I own it and I already know it's the best thing. See, so there's the thing. You don't need to be looking at other stuff. I don't see what the problem is. But yeah, Spellforce EO, it's a solid game, but to me it's middle of the road. It's not different enough. to say, oh yeah, you got to go get it. Hey, Calfac, welcome back. Happy Friday.
Well, the new Deep Rock Galactic game is pretty good. Survivor.
Survivor. Is it?
It's a single player survivor like auto shooter. So like that Vampire or whatever that game is called. But it's based off the world of Deep Rock Galactic.
But it's a single player.
Yep. Single.
And I don't know what to do with my right hand. You only need WASD and spacebar if you want.
Yeah. Hey, Flug, welcome back. Yes, it's the bonus kitten videos.
I don't know. For all the upgrades, I use the mouse for that, but that's about it.
Yeah, I usually click them too, but I discovered today you can just WASD select them and hit spacebar.
Oh. I don't know what to do with my right hand anymore then. Oh well.
So what kind of game is this again?
It's an auto shooter. So it's like you got the map and you're running around the map, and it based on the weapons that you choose for your dwarf, it'll auto shoot. And you're running around, you're getting upgrades, and you're trying to kill all the bugs while you're mining. And usually you got like a side quest that you got to do, like mine 500 minerals of this type, or find 6 flowers, or blah blah blah. And you're just running around the map, you're killing everything, and then you kill the boss, and then you go to the next level and rinse and repeat. And there's 4 different weapons eventually you can unlock for the one match. And then once you finish that, you can do unlocks to upgrade your dwarf to have more health, or gain experience quicker, or blah blah blah, and unlock weapons and new maps and new game modes, and yeah.
But you don't need your right hand to play the game.
No, you're just basically just running around the map.
So you're using your WSAD stuff?
Yep.
Really? Wow, that's exciting.
No,
It's an auto shooter.
Yeah, and like for an hour or two, it's
a good little time killer.
Yeah, it's based 100% within the Deep Rock Galactic universe. So you're all the monsters and everything about it already. So and the V key works. You forgot the V key. You can yell out as a dwarf. So the V key still works.
So that's your thumb.
Nice.
Sure.
That's your hand, the thumb on your left hand. So again, you still don't need your right hand to play the game.
Well, he was just saying the WSD. He forgot the most important key.
The V. Well, that's the thing is you only need 3 fingers for the WSAD. That's your middle index and ring finger, and then you have your thumb on V to spam that all day, and you're good to go.
Yep.
So no problem. In Vukrul's, but the reviews of Master of Magic on Steam, they're not being the negative ones aren't really the major negative ones aren't being done by the younger generations. They're being done by the people who played the game back in the 90s, and they're giving some really weird stuff. There are a lot of contradictory reviews, but what are you gonna do? Yes, using the keys for movement is a WSD of time. WASD of time, yeah. Waste of time.
Pretty sure it has a controller. You can use a controller as well.
Yep, I think it's Steam Deck approved.
So you can so we can play it on mobile stuff. Okay. Master Magic's slightly overpriced. What's it probably priced at? It's only like 30, isn't it? Or is it 40? 40? I don't know. Is it compared to what? What are we comparing it to by saying it's overpriced at 40? How many cheaper games are out there that are backed by a publisher? I mean, we're not talking. This isn't an indie title technically. It's a smaller developer, but they're backed by Slytherin, who are a growing, publisher. So, yeah, it's the publisher. Yeah, I understand that part. Slytherin games tend to be a little bit more expensive than they should be. But you could say the same about Paradox games too, or EA, or pick a publisher. It doesn't really matter. They all bump up the price. I want everything certain. 45. Challenge. Actually, I'm currently playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and 5, which are very challenging, not hard. Yep. Old gamers are comparing the real new game with their own memory from childhood. It's obvious that the real game would be worse. Well, see, this is the fun thing too, Fukuos, is you can actually play the original game, no problem, because it's available on Steam and GOG and other places too. So you can actually play the original Master of Magic still. So you can make a direct comparison. And if you actually did that, you go, the graphics, the sound are definitely improved. And, oh, look, there's a lot of similarities between these games because the developer for the new version were very very faithful to the original. So I don't know what these people are talking about when they give it shit. You know, they say, oh, it doesn't have the heart of the original. It's like, it is, the original is the heart. You know, that's the way it is. Or you have people saying, you know, stupid stuff like that. It's just crazy. $40 for a game that isn't intended to be short is an average price for a game, not underpriced, not overpriced. And I would agree with that. But anyway. And for those of you who haven't heard it before, my general policy for evaluating the worth of a game is based off of how much playtime do you get out of it. And my general theory is for every dollar you pay, you should get a minimum of 1 hour of gameplay. Period. Doesn't matter what kind of game it is. If you're paying $10 for a game, you should be able to play that game for 10 hours and be happy. If you're paying $70, you should be able to play $70 and be happy. If you're not, the game isn't worth the money. Master Magic at $40, I am way over 40 hours. I'll put you that. I'll tell you that right now. Actually, I can probably look it up, tell you what I'm at. Because we're still waiting for Hobo's update to finish.
Yes.
Yep, no worries.
Windows decided to do an update at the same time.
Yep. And for the record, my Master of Magic playtime is currently up to 331 hours on Steam. So I think I've got my money worth. And I did pay for it. I was not given a key for Master of Magic. As soon as they announced it and it became available for sale, I paid for it up front. I didn't care how much it was. I was going to grab it. So I'm up over 300 hours. No problem. So yes, I think Master of Magic is worth $40. Compared to what's on the market, the value proposition isn't as good. Well, we'll give it a comparison here. Games that are similar. We were just talking about them. Age of Wonders 4 and was it the Spellforce EO? Age of Wonders 4. How many hours do I have in you? Where are you? Here, I can search. Age of Wonders 4. I have 93 hours in. Not horrible, not great. How much was the game? 50? 60? Something like that? Is it worth it? Maybe. Again, I have, development decisions with that game. That's why I basically stopped playing it. I'd have a lot more if they, made better choices there. And Spellforce, Conquest of Eo. I only have 7 hours in. So, but again, that came out at the wrong time. It came out just before Age of Wonders 4 did. So that's why it's eating up. It's not getting it didn't get the play time. I could go back there and take a look at it, but yeah. So compare 3 games that are basically generally the same: Master Magic, Age of Wonders 4, and Spellforce EO. Master Magic, the cheapest of the 3, and it's got the most hours. So, go. A modern caster of magic would be great. Yeah. Somebody will do it eventually. $1 per hour idea, but even then, $40 is a generally okay price for a game. You can also just wait for a sale, though. See, I just use that as a general one because it applies to every game. It doesn't matter. It's generally, unless you have these games that are only meant to be played for like an hour or two. I have issues with those games in general. So, what's the point? Games should be longer than that. They really should be. Valasar, you're a streamer. You've got hours in games you probably wouldn't have played so long otherwise. No? No. This is my policy. If I don't like a game, I don't play it. I give it a fair shake, and if it doesn't pull me in, I don't play it. So because I'm not a big streamer, I don't get paid to play games. To believe it or not, I actually don't get paid. I usually just get the key free, and that's it. I don't get any money for it. So there's that. So again, I am not a big streamer like you'll see out there, and they have to put hashtag ad on their titles and stuff. They have to do that, otherwise they get in trouble. For me, I just have to say, I just have a permanent tag on my channel going, hey, there may be some content in here that has been commercially or whatever the actual tag is. It means basically I'm just saying up front that I may have received this game for free. That's it. So there's that. Or there may be some promotion in the channel, that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm secretly raking in the billions. Yes, that's it. That's why I don't have a fiber connection. Oh, Vukros, you're evil. Do I make money on streaming? I do make a little bit. I just don't make billions. I don't make millions either. I make a little bit of money on streaming, but not a lot. And I don't get paid. I don't get paid by developers to play their games. Just to be clear, I do not get paid by developers. I'm lucky to get a free key, get a key from developers these days. So, no, the bulk of the money I make from streaming and stuff is actually from running ads and when people sub. But I don't actually get paid to play games. So. Keeping your fiber internet, despite offering more than 2 times the speed, is actually cheaper than I was paying for cable. We are only currently paying, what do we pay? 60?
60 is pretty good.
I think we're paying 60, and that's for a data cap, though. That's our normal. Mrs. Gimpy has currently boosted up our data cap by a couple of. Our normal data cap is 1.2 terabytes, but she boosted it up to 1.7, and that costs us an extra $30 a month. So right now we're paying 90, but normally we'd be paying 60. So how long that's going to last, I don't know.
Can I get Mrs. Gimpy to call my provider as well? Give me a bit of a rebate.
I'm sure she would do it for you. She loves talking to those guys. They hate her, but yeah. Isn't secretly richer than a Saudi prince. Your world is shattered. I know. I probably would be richer than a Saudi prince if I didn't live in Southern California. In other parts of the world, I'm probably stinking rich, but here I am just middle class. I'm rich in other ways. I'm rich in kitten videos. And even then, that's kind of limited. Zombie cable is $150 per month for 1 gigabyte up, 40 megabits down. Fiber is $100 per month for 2 gigabytes up. Yeah, see, for us, it's down is, we're doing what, 200? 200 down and 10 up. Which isn't, we've been running that for years. Because there's really no reason to go any faster than that. And a wife that lets me play games all day is pretty amazing. Your definition of all day is different than mine.
Yeah, because technically Gimpy is working right now, so.
I'm not playing a game right now. We're just talking, so.
Yeah, but you're streaming, so technically you're on the job.
Technically, I am on the job. And you'd be surprised how hard that is to get her to buy into. I actually have to put stuff up on the door, streaming in progress. And she still ignores it. So.
Yeah, but you don't have like a camera or anything, so she can't like walk in on you. So it's...
Well, she walks in. Well, she's not here right now. Her and Rocket are over at one of the neighbors' houses, drinking their what is it? Tea on the porch, because Southern California in the winter, that's what we do. But she's at there. But if she knows my normal streaming time, it's from noon to 6. She will walk in here if she was here. It's between noon and 6. She will walk in here and start talking. She doesn't care. She knows. I'll be talking to you guys like this right now. She would come in here and she'll start talking to me, even though she can see that I'm talking to the mic. That I'm obviously talking to someone. She will still start talking to me. She doesn't care. she knows she's in her mind, what she wants is more important than what I'm doing, because that's the way marriage works. So, but yeah.
I don't know. I sort of assume she thinks that what she's saying will be as part of the show, as part of the entertainment.
Sometimes it is. I mean, it can be. I mean, Scout leaving was the most detrimental thing to happen to the stream in many, many years. Scout's been gone for over a year now, and having Scout around was really actually kind of good for the stream, because it gave Mrs. Gimpy a reason to participate in the stream, and we had where the hell is Scout Day, and or that kind of stuff. That was fun. That was fun to do. But now that she's gone, we don't have that anymore. We don't have a cat in the neighborhood that visits us, and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of ruined it. So
no squirrel in the tree, or
no squirrels.
Bird that she sees all the time, or red robin, or blue jay, or a
nope.
sparrow, or a raccoon or a possum that's in the garbage, or
no. Well, supposedly we have raccoons or possums that live in our drainage, because we live in a condo complex. Well, the thing is that worked when Mickey was around, because he had an issue with that whatever lives in the drainage pipes. He would always go up to him and sniff at him and bark and that kind of stuff. Rocket, he's terrified of him, so he doesn't want to go anywhere near him. So that doesn't work. And the birds that live around here, we actually have some crows, or they're ravens. It's one of the two. That there is a pair that live here in the complex, and they have different spots they hang out. And they used to hang out on the building across from our porch, and they would caw at Mickey when he'd go out on the porch, and he'd bark back at him. And so that was an interaction thing. We never caught it on video because it just didn't work. And but now that Mickey's gone, that doesn't happen anymore. And and Rocket, he has nothing to do with birds. So yeah, stuff has changed. So basically we need I keep telling Mrs. Gimpy that Rocket needs a bunny, but she just laughs at me. So, there is the seahorse. Yes, there is the seahorse. If you don't know what the seahorse is, that's not it.
Are bunnies on the list of allowable pets?
They should be. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Bunnies. Oh, we don't have the camera set up. That's why it didn't work. And I said them to fully support your work. Oh, wait a minute. What was this? They don't even come back and bang on the door like they're locked out, but they have keys, so you have to abandon your coworkers to answer the door.
So what do you think? Like a little bunny, or one of those really big?
A little one.
Huge bunnies, or
a little one, like the little small ones that you see. They're like little puff balls, basically. Because anything bigger than that might, be a problem. You guys probably seen a possum in the drain dressed like a clown and holding a red balloon. He probably has. Anyway, so seahorse. So right-hand side, that's the seahorse, currently decorated in memorial for Mickey. Hence the little picture. So can't really see the seahorse very well, but it's there. So anyway, that's our front door. Mrs. Gimpy and Rocket aren't here. Yes, it's a land horse. Had a bunny for a while, and that cute little bugger could really make a stinky Hutch Panera. Yeah, that's the tricky part too. That's why Mrs. Gimpy really doesn't want a bunny, because bunnies have a tendency to do stuff in corners that you don't find for months and months, unless it's the hard way. That's the downside to them. But as you can see, Rocket really likes animals that are smaller than him, hence a bunny. Ferrets are illegal in California.
What?
Yep.
Because ferrets do what?
Because ferrets are not natural are not what is it? They don't exist in the ecosystem naturally here. And so if they were to escape, they could decimate the ecosystem, because they would be killing animals that shouldn't be, killed necessarily, or they would, be too many, that kind of thing. Invasive species. Yep. There we go.
Because it's already too late with bunnies and dogs and all the other stuff. So yeah, I could see that.
Yep. That's the downside. What about wolverines? Yeah, wolverines aren't here either. The wolverines are primarily up in the mountains to the north, and by north we mean closer to Canada. So wolverines are not a California thing.
It's kind of odd they didn't do the same thing with fish, because you got all those invasive species from people just putting their pet fish in the waters and causing issues.
Okay.
I'll say it. Okay.
Yep. Just need you online so I can connect.
Oh, okay. So we're all set then. Okay. How do I feel about the horse of the river? The horse of the river. What's the horse of the river? We do have mountain lions. We have mountain lions in our mountains, actually, to the east of us. They come down. They come down every now and then to see what's going on, along with some of the bears from occasionally. But we do actually have large predators in the mountains.
These fatal mountains that you talk about that have snow on them.
Yes. Well, it doesn't have any snow anymore. It melted all away like the other day. So yeah, we did. Supposedly, the mountains to the east of us at the higher elevations, they had snow up until about Monday this week. So that's pretty good for us. And the snow actually up there lasted like 3 or 4 days. It's very unusual. We have mongoose, which apparently escaped from 2005 long ago, and well, now California has mongoose. Yeah, see, that's a problem. Oh, but hippopotamus, the horse river. Yeah, we don't have hippopotami here. That's a Southern America thing, thanks to the drug dealers. Okay, let's get started. It's only an hour late. That's okay.